Hey, it's Bernadette. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today we're going to talk about how to handle crisis, disappointment, and worry. Because sometimes things look like they're getting worse or they're getting harder when you're close to a breakthrough. And the worst thing you could do is to give up during those times. So we're going to talk about it, and hopefully you can walk away from today's talk in such a way where you feel empowered and where you really can pivot, shift, and change where you're coming from. I know it's hard when things look like they're getting harder or they feel very, very heavy, where you're like, what the hell just happened? And everything feels like it's falling apart or looks like it's falling apart. Say hello when you get here. Make sure you like the video and you share it with your friends. My goal right now is to help as many people as possible. And that's only possible when you guys share. Because of the way Facebook's algorithm has changed, most people, even that like my page, unless you subscribe and follow it, aren't seeing the notifications. So it is really important that those of you who are on the live stream share it. And even if you're watching the replay, that you share it as well, because then people will see it and then they can get help too. Hi, Lisa. Hi, Debbie. Who else is here? Say hello. So like, and share, share, share. I don't know why I can't see the like hearts and stuff anymore, but I can't when I do it from my computer. It's so weird. Yay, I'm glad you made it. Cindy, welcome. All right, you guys. So take a deep breath, everybody. Some of you have messaged me today and you're riding this energy in a weird way. Some of you are experiencing some breakdowns, and it's having you a little worried, making you a little worried. And I don't want you guys to get stuck there. It's super important that you don't get stuck there. Oh, I can see the hearts. Very cool. Thank you, Debbie. All right, so let's talk about it, because it's really important, you guys, that you don't give up. Hi, Jeff. When you're creating something, when you're manifesting something, when you hit this place where you are at, like you're trying to change something in your life, you're in prayer, you're in meditation. Hi, Lisa. And you surrender, right? You set an intention, and then you feel like, okay, I've surrendered. I've detached. I've let it go. And I'm just going to focus on the positive now. I'm going to focus on what I'm creating. I'm going to focus on what I want. And then suddenly things start to fall apart. Maybe the relationship starts to fall apart, or you get some unexpected expenses depending on what you're creating. There's crisis all around you. People all of a sudden need all your attention. How many of you have had that happen or are going through that right now? Put it in the comments so that I can see where you guys are at right now in your life. Or you just start to feel really heavy and really afraid about what you're creating. If you're starting a new business, if you're starting a new project, and you were all gung-ho, and now it's like, oh, something's up, your ego's kicking in, and all of a sudden layers of stuff's coming up. Are any of you going through that right now? Put it in the comments. If you guys aren't, then I can jump off this live stream and you don't really need me. I'm just wasting time, right? I don't want to waste my time, not mine, not yours. So you guys have to tell me where you're at. But like I said, I've had a few of you message me, so I want to know from you, is that what you're going through? What is it that you're feeling right now? What is it that's coming up for you that you're struggling with? Business, self-esteem, fear. Sarah, are you also doing business? Is that why it's coming up for you as well? Because I know some of you are also just trying to find a job, or you're really just in this place of trying to flip your life into the positive, and other people are kind of throwing some stuff your way that you weren't expecting. Aw, thanks for the hearts, Andrea. Lots of worry and distress. Okay. So one of the things that happens when we begin to work consciously, right? You've been angry and angrier yesterday and today, going through issues of letting go, egos keeping you up at night. Wow, Debbie. Okay, so let me tell all of you this. When you begin to do the work on yourself and you begin to step out of your comfort zone, which is what we talked about yesterday, getting out of your comfort zone. When we focus our intentions on getting out of our comfort zone and standing in our own power, right? And we begin to trust the universe and start to work on quelling the fears, the self-doubt, and all of that. You peel a layer. You have to peel one layer, just the surface layer of whatever's held you back from even asking for this thing to begin with, right? That's one layer. It's like surface layer, though. It's that clear coat you haven't really gotten into yet what it is that's been blocking you all this time. So you ask, the universe says, okay, no problem. But here's where you're being blocked. This is where you've got energy that's conflicted, that is not going to help you. Here's where you have some thoughts and beliefs, and those things have to bubble to the surface, right? So maybe you are angry and you've got to find out, like, where's that anger coming from? What's it really tied to? Because obviously, if you're going after a goal, you're not angry about the goal or the thing that you're trying to create, right? If you're trying to create a positive, happy life, you're not angry about that. But something from the past is making you angry that you have not forgiven, you have not released, you have not let go of. Stressed beyond belief, starting a new job, new relationship, both of which I wanted, but I'm more anxious than ever, which means you've got some self-worth stuff going on, because that happens too. A layer will come up that says you don't deserve this. You haven't cleared that. So how can it all be this good? How many times something good happens and we say it's too good to be true? And we actually believe it's too good to be true, right? It's something bad's going to happen. And that is just a worthiness program. It's a low self-esteem program. So you have to identify what that is. Stephanie, are you in Soul Fast? I can't remember. More in friendship, but currently starting another business in addition to our primary business. Okay. So it would make sense, Sarah, that the worry and distress and all of that is coming up. If it's in regards to somebody else, though, like you're having worry and distress over somebody else, then is it because you're worried about something they are doing or not doing? You're in Soul Fast? Okay. Keep doing the tapping that's included in Soul Fast, Stephanie, because that will relieve it. And bring up the other layer. That is why I use EFT with almost all of my programs, and when I work with people one-on-one, because EFT will clear the energetic and the emotion and the panic, and it helps to flip the brain and the central nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system back to a place where you can actually get back into the positive beliefs of believing in yourself. Hi, Lauren, how are you? So when we start to peel these layers, whether it's the surface layer or you're getting pretty deep into what's been causing you to not go after your dreams, not manifest your goals, not have the love in your life, not treat yourself kindly, not earn what you know that you're capable of earning. When we peel those layers, then these other heavier stuff, these hidden beliefs and fears start to bubble to the surface, and it's not there to hold you back. A lot of people think, well, life's just falling apart now, right? Like life's crumbling. Oh my God, now what? And sometimes it has to happen that the things that aren't good for you have to be cut out of your life. And if you perceive it as a bad thing, you're causing yourself even more stress, right? In holding on, you're in resistance to what the universe is actually trying to do for you as a cosmic vacuum to suck things out of your life that are not in your highest good. And you're holding on and going, but I want it. And the universe is going, but it's not good for you. It's not anywhere part of the plan of what you asked for. And if we do that, we hold on to it. Now we put ourselves in resistance, right? Get yourself out of a place where you're in resistance to anything, I need a one-on-one. That's another thing, trying to convince myself it's okay to spend on myself. I work 3 jobs, but still won't do it. Oh, yes. I know that program. I used to have that program. In fact, I was just telling one of my friends today that I was having this weird thing about working with my editor for my book and feeling, oddly like there wasn't enough value in it for as much as I'm spending to write this book that I don't even have a publisher for yet. And oh my God, I'm stretching myself, and why am I doing this? And is it's your head just starts to spin. I've done it on massages. I've done it on going, and getting a chiropractic adjustment. It's like, oh, I don't want to spend that money on me. And that's a worthiness issue. So to me, what you're saying to me is you really need to work on the self-worth stuff. But the first life affirming thing you can do for yourself is the very thing that you're in resistance to doing. If it is having a one-on-one and spending that money on yourself, do it. Because it also says to the universe, I am worth it. I am absolutely worth it. And releasing that guilt. So many people have guilt around spending money on themselves. And it's a weird program, like, or doing something for themselves, right? We have this weird thing. And yet, if our friend absolutely, or children or family members that we really care about needed it, we would do it for them. Well, if you do it for them, you need to do it for you. Communication issues, feeling physical pain, feeling massive tension, made a choice that I thought was right, one out of self-love, and I'm doubting. That is your ego. That any kind of self-doubt is ego. I went through the same thing, Lisa, seriously, even just with my editor. And then I talked to her. I was like, she sent me one of the rewrites, the edits, and I was like, oh my God, yeah, this is so worth it. It's so worth it for me to just hand this over and have her work where she's an expert, and she's an expert at copyrights, right? Like edits and book writing. She's a really good editor. So why did I doubt it? It wasn't that I doubted in her. It's that I doubted that my work was even worthy to put in this time and money to get it out and get it finished. Like, it is me spending money on me, because I could be spending that money monthly on my family. I could be spending it on, God only knows what else. Always delayed letting things go until it was almost forced out. Ugh. I've learned, but struggling a bit as I'm going through a Saturn transit in my 11th house. Letting some things go don't work as well for me, but I'm seeing my friends either get closer or leave, and I'm okay with that. We have to be. When someone comes into their a whole other like level too, it happens that you'll shed things, you'll shed experiences. For every time we up level, right? Like, say you're earning a certain amount of income, and then you get a promotion, or you've gotten a new job and you get a promotion, get a new relationship, right? Like, you're happier than you've ever been. You tend to lose people. And then you start to think, oh my God, I did something wrong. You did nothing wrong. And that's the wrong way to look at it. You did something right. You're giving yourself permission to have good things. The worry is just a program. The fear is just a program. The self-doubt is just your programming, right? That you can't trust yourself. Well, if you can't trust yourself, who else can you trust? And even if you make a wrong turn, the universe will always, if you have faith and you have trust and you remain in alignment, will always be sure that it still works out for your highest good. I've done some things. I've spent thousands and thousands of dollars on business coaching programs, and for a long time held this weird resentment, like, why did I go there? I should have known better. My intuition should have kicked in. I must not have my radar up. And then I go into this whole conversation of self-doubt. The reality is this: I did learn some things from it. Was it worth what they charged? I didn't feel that it was. And I felt guilty when I made the purchase, which should have been my first clue, is just the stress surrounding when I bought the program before I hit purchase, before I hit buy now. Because there was a whole ton of questions that were coming through. Is this going to get me to where I want? is this the right person? But because of their marketing was good, I will give them that. And I learned a lot from that choice. So was it a mistake? No, not necessarily. I learned a lot from it, and I don't want to market like that, right? I always thought I was doing something wrong. Yeah, no, we don't need to question ourselves. Look, you guys, we all have different experiences at different times for different reasons. And it's only a problem when we begin to question what we've done, right? When you go into the mode of trying to be perfect, trying to be good enough, trying to whatever, that's when you start to screw yourself, and you take what's meant to be a breakthrough and you judge it as a breakdown, and then you crumble, and then your energy goes like way to the bottom of the vibrational scale, and then you generate all kinds of stuff to back up and justify why you just crumbled. You guys get it? It's a cycle. Something shifted out of my life. I don't pick up the small circle of friends, but the ones I have are my tribe. Absolutely, Lisa. And that's the thing, right? Like, we are so used to judging things a certain way, and it gets to the point where we actually block our blessings when we start to compare what we used to have to what we have now, and we compare it wrongly. Our perception is wrong in those moments. If you can breathe into, feel into, lean into this statement, right? I think it will help you. For all of you who are struggling with whatever you're struggling with, you don't even have to know what the hell it is, just how it feels. Lean into this heaviness that you're feeling. Lean into the fear that you're feeling. Lean in, like really just feel it right now in this moment, and then I'll give you some release. But I just want you to feel it. Feel what that is, because it's just an energy. Now I want you to take a deep breath in and imagine letting all of it out with your breath. Lift off of your heart, replacing that heaviness with golden light from your creator. It's all right. Everything's perfectly okay. Look at what your surroundings are. Look at where you are in this moment, not any other, not a past moment, not a future moment. Where are you right now? Aren't you in fact safe? Aren't you in fact okay? Aren't you in fact on the precipice of an amazing breakthrough? Don't you feel that instead? That's what goes beyond the heaviness. That's what's beyond the fear. So lean as far as you can into that. Lean as far as you can into that relief, into that release, and stop avoiding it. What was meant to be a breakthrough? Oh, yes, we do. We always have this point right before the answer to our prayers come. There's always a point of that stress of transition, right? The pain of the transition. For those of you mothers who've had children, you know what I'm talking about. Labor is one thing, but when you're in labor, in transition, and you are right at the point of pushing the child out, it is the most, if you've not had drugs, you know what I'm talking about, most excruciating, exhausting, scary. Holy crap, how long is this gonna last? I don't know if I can do it moment. And then boom, you birth the child, and all of that crap that was running through your head and your body and your experience relieves, and all you can see is the beauty of this creation in front of you. That's what birth is about. That's what birth of a child is. That's what birth of a dream is. That's what birth of your new reality is. That point of transition is always the scariest, but we have to accept that it's part of it. We all knew, right, when we got pregnant, this is going to be a thing. It's fine. You want a child, you're going to get pregnant. It's going to be a little uncomfortable. And then comes the moment where you give birth. And you know that moment, because you've seen the videos, is like, oh, holy crap, can I do it? And you know that you can. You know that you were born to. Your body was made to. If you're a woman, you know you can do it. Women have been doing it since the beginning of time. But in that moment that you're going through it, you doubt the living hell out of whether or not you're actually going to break into a million pieces, because that's what it feels like on a physiological level, on an emotional level, on a mental level. Like you can't take it, right? That's what it feels like. And then you do. And then there's the baby, and all pain is forgotten, and you're just in love with your life, with your new child. That's what manifestation is. That is why I do believe that we have this example of birth of a child, because we do have to go through the same thing as we're birthing a new reality, as we're birthing a new consciousness, as we're birthing a new level of success. We go through the pains of labor. We go through the pains of transition. We go through that, oh my God, I cannot do another thing. And that is when you just have to surrender, lean into it, and go with it. If it means you're going to scream at the top of your lungs while you're doing it, fine. But don't go into this place of fear. I mean, nothing you can do when you're in transition, you're in it. There's no going back. You cannot put the baby back in the oven. That baby wants to be born. It's coming out. And it's the same way with manifestation. You ask for it, you believe in it, now you're in that place where it's like, wow, you are right there, but you're in transition. And transition, that place right before it births, is painful. It's scary. And if you quit now, you are only going to go back to your comfort zone of where you've been and what you've known. And obviously that wasn't working for you, or you wouldn't have asked to up level. You wouldn't have asked for more. You wouldn't have said, I want more abundance. I want more love. I want more freedom. I want more of this. I want more of that. You wouldn't have asked for it if you didn't already feel like you were cut out for more. You wouldn't have. So you know what? If you're going to bitch about it, scream about it while you're going through the pain of it, fine, do it. But don't get lost in it. Just breathe your way through it. Fight your way through it. No, this is not a breakdown. This is a breakthrough. And even while I'm breaking down, my breakthrough is happening because I declared it. One of my mentors told me in November, it's time to birth the baby. And I think they totally signaled the beginning of transition. You're speaking to my heart. Thank you. I'm so glad. Transition is the scariest time, whether you're giving birth to a baby or you're giving birth to a dream or you're giving birth to, a whole new reality. It's a scary time. It's uncomfortable because we don't know what else is going to be required to get it there. Right? So of course we doubt ourselves. I mean, I know I did when I was giving birth to Bella without any drugs at home in the country at 35 years old. And everyone's telling me you're crazy, right? I was already high risk because I had endometriosis and I had all kinds of cyst problems and I have hemorrhaging problems because I have anemia. Oh, you're crazy. You're not. Everyone's like, you're being neglectful to the child. I'm like, this is the most natural thing a woman can do. I just have to trust that I'm fully covered. And here's the deal. All through that pain, the one thing that I walked away from that was I was fully present of every pain, of every contraction, of every relief, of everything. And the moment she was handed to me in my own bed, I was fully 100% aware and conscious, and you will be too as you birth your new reality. But you cannot let your ego stop you and block you because you're afraid, because it's a little uncomfortable, it's a little heavy, and give your ego like the full-on stage that, hey, maybe we should quit now, go back to being comfortable, go back to being in pain, go back to being whatever, playing small. You don't need to do that. I know how hard it is to go to the next level. I've done it so many times. I'm doing it now in my own life. I know it's uncomfortable, especially when God is calling you forth. This is such a trip. I have an angel standing right to my side and I'm about ready to cry because it's the most amazing flipping energy. So one of you, all of you, whoever this is for, you are all protected and being given so much energy, more than you can ever know, more than you can ever recognize. You have an army around you. I don't know what angel this is, but it's like, I'm in tears right now. This is crazy. Oh, thank you. I so appreciate it. Oh my God. It's moments like this that I'm so grateful that I can be here for you guys, because it's things like this, these miracles that happen. I don't know if you can feel that right now, but it is the most peaceful relief, like, wow, joyful energy. I am so grateful right now. Oh my God. Yeah. I don't know that this has ever happened like quite like this on a live stream. So you guys say your thank you prayers, and I don't know if any of you are feeling it or seeing it, but wow. It's amazing. You asked for the angel. Oh, you got it. Oh my God. It's, it never gets old. Whenever an angel shows up, it never gets old. My entire body is on fire right now. And I'm speechless. There is nothing I can even say that's going to top that. Like, holy crap. All right. So I think whoever asked for that, Lisa, and whoever else, you got your answer. And all of you are welcome to take this energy. And even if you end up on this replay, doesn't change the fact that that energy is there for you. The vibration is there for you. Do not quit. God is not out to hurt you. The universe is not here to take from you. It removes the things that are blocking you from the very things you've asked for, you've prayed for, you've created. And sometimes letting things go we get attached to is difficult, but it always gets replaced with something 100 times more powerful. So I'm going to share this with you guys, because some of you, I don't know, have heard this story, and they keep telling me, this angel over here is saying, share the story. So I'll share the story. Back in when was it? 1990, 89 or something, I want to say. I don't even remember. Some years ago, I had a 5-year warning when I was living in Washington and had gone through a divorce, and was told that in 5 years I was moving to Colorado, or moving. And they were going to tell me where. And at some point they had said, you're going to move to Colorado. And I just laughed it off. And I was like, ain't no way that's going to happen. I actually moved to California, where I wanted to go. And I kept having visions and kept getting messages from the angels. You're moving to Colorado. I'm like, that's just impossible. It's not going to happen. Until it did. Until I woke up one morning on my 10-acre horse training and boarding facility, and everything in 24 hours fell apart. My boyfriend at the time, my fiance at the time, was a recovered alcoholic, fell off the wagon, cleared out all the money in our bank account. And we had a joint bank account. We had 2 businesses. We had my training facility, plus we had a headhunting company. And in 24 hours, he cleared our bank account and went missing. On top of that, his family shut off the electricity and the water, which was not cool for the horses. And I woke up from a dream in a panic, and an angel saying, it's time to go to Colorado. You got to go. Are you ready? And I was like, what? And I wake up to total chaos at the farm. Long story short, I moved. I moved with, after paying all the bills on the farm and losing all of my money, I had close to $30,000 invested in that business, and had to sell everything and move with my daughter. Only took 2 of my 8 horses, had to sell the rest as quickly as possible. I took my dog and we moved to Colorado, sight unseen, to a place I'd never been, knew not one soul. And I thought, this is just crazy that I'm listening to these voices. And everybody thought I was crazy. And I got there and I rented a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home on 2.5 acres for $450 a month, which was what I told them. If you can get me a place under 500, I'll do it. I don't know how you're going to do it. I don't think it's possible, but good luck. And this was back in 2000. And within 3 phone calls, I found that place and I moved there. I sold that place back in September, this past September, after owning it for close to 18 years. I guess it was 18 years. It started as a 2-bedroom, 2-bath mobile home that I rented. I bought that property. I built a 3,248 square foot house, put a growing dome, 22 square foot growing dome on it, or diameter growing dome on it. So we grew our own food. We built a barn. I had horses. I had goats. I had chickens. I birthed Bella on that property. But when I left and everything fell apart that day, that first day, when everything just went to shit, and I was like, I'm losing my business. I just lost my relationship. Like, all of my money is gone. Is this your idea of helping me, God and angels? Like, this is insane that you would do this to me. Do it to me. That's what I was saying. And I bet you some of you are thinking the same way about your lives, right? It's happening to you. What the hell's happening to me? I had to trust the voice. I had to trust the guidance. I knew that 5-year mark was coming close, but I was in total resistance. And so they pulled everything out of my life. I lost all my friends. I lost everything I knew. And I moved to Colorado on faith without a clue how I was going to make money. And then I stepped in and I started doing readings, because when I got to Colorado, that's how they said. I lived in the middle of freaking nowhere. I said, what am I going to do for work? And they said, you're going to give readings now. It's time to use your gifts. That was many years ago. And I can't tell you how much joy that property gave me, how much like abundance, and how much my life completely changed to the person, the woman I am right now, how many tens of thousands of people I have helped doing readings, doing classes for, and doing live streams and touching. Had I said no that day I woke up and everything went to shit, who knows where my life would be. But I had no idea that it could be as good as it became, and as flowing and as peaceful and as abundant. So don't you ever doubt that your dreams are possible. I had asked for, during that time, I had, from a materialistic standpoint, I had everything I wanted. Like, seriously, I was making a ton of money, had everything I wanted. I had my horse barn. They let me realize that dream. I got everything I wanted up until that point. But there was more. There was more to be had. There was a Bella to be born, right? There was a spiritual warrior that needed to stand up and share her light. There was so much more that I had no idea I was capable of, or that was needed out in the world. I answered the call as it fell apart and went to shit. And yes, was I scared? Yes. Did I lean into it? Oh yeah. I was out to prove a point to spirit too. I was like, I am trusting you guys full on. You let me fall on my face, I will walk away and never turn back. I will never use my gifts to help anybody, and I will never listen to this craziness that's in my head if this doesn't go well. And I put spirit to the test. Here I am. How many years later, it all turned out just fine. But I was scared. I still did it. And I just ignored the fear and went to a place of knowing full well that there was so much going on that I had no idea about. I'm just going to take one step at a time. So hold on. All right. It is always the craziest right before you give birth to the most amazing, brilliance within you that the universe has waiting for you. We just had a visitation from an angel. It doesn't get any better than that. So have a wonderful day. I'm going to go ride this energy right now for a few minutes before I jump on and go do our weekly forecast for Patreon. That was amazing. I'm going to come back and watch this later so that I can feel that again. The angel's already gone, but that was amazing. Amazing. And holy crap, you guys, we are blessed. We are blessed. That was some shit right there. Thank you, God. Hi, Julie. All right, you guys, I love you. I will see you later.